Once upon a time, there was a miller who had 3 sons, a mill, a donkey, and a cat. The sons ground the flour, the donkey carried grain and flour, and the cat chased mice. When the miller died, his sons divided the inheritance. The eldest took the mill, the second got the donkey, and the youngest received the cat. Nothing was left for the youngest. He was very sad and said, "I've been given the worst share. My eldest brother can grind grain. The second can ride the donkey. What am I supposed to do with a cat? Maybe I'll make a pair of gloves out of his fur and be done with it." But the cat, who had overheard, said, "Don't kill me and make poor gloves out of my fur. Just get me a pair of boots so I can walk among people, and I promise I'll help you very soon." The miller's son was amazed the cat could talk, but since a shoemaker was passing by, he called him over and had him make boots for the cat. When the boots were ready, the cat put them on, grabbed a sack, filled it with corn, tied a string at the top, slung it over his shoulder, and set off walking on 2 legs like a person. Now, in that kingdom, there was a king who loved partridges more than anything, but he couldn't get any. The forests were full of them, but they were so skittish that no hunter could catch one. The cat knew this and had a plan. He went into the forest, laid open the sack, scattered corn all around it, and hid behind a bush. Soon, partridges came, and one by one entered the sack. The cat pulled the string, caught them, wrung their necks, and carried them to the royal palace. At the gate, the guards shouted, "Stop! Where are you going?" "To the king," said the cat. "A cat? To the king? Are you mad?" "Let him pass," said another guard. "The king's bored all the time. Maybe this cat will amuse him by purring." The cat appeared before the king, bowed, and said, "My master, the Count of Carabas," he made up a long, noble-sounding name, "sends his greetings and gifts you these partridges, which he caught himself." The king was amazed by the plump, perfect birds, and ordered the cat to be given as much gold as he could carry. "Bring this to your master and thank him for his generous gift," the king said. Meanwhile, the miller's son sat at home, staring out the window, thinking about how he had spent his last coin on boots for a cat and didn't know what to expect. Just then, the cat entered, tossed the sack on the floor, untied it, and gold spilled out. "Here's something for the boots," said the cat. "The king also sends his thanks." The young man was delighted but baffled. The cat explained everything and added, "You have money now, but it won't stop there. Tomorrow I'll put the boots on again and make you even richer. I also told the king you're a count." The next day the cat went hunting again and brought more gifts to the king. Soon he became such a favorite at the palace that he could come and go freely. One day, in the royal kitchen, the cat overheard the coachman complaining about having to take the king and princess for a ride by the lake when he'd rather be at the tavern. The cat rushed home and said to his master, "Want to be a count and win the princess? Come with me to the lake and take a swim." The miller's son didn't understand, but he followed the cat. He stripped down and jumped into the water. When the king's carriage approached, the cat cried out, "Help! My lord, the Count of Carabas, was bathing, and a thief stole his clothes." The king immediately ordered fine garments to be brought. The young man dressed in noble clothes, and since the king already knew of him, he invited him into the carriage. The princess liked him at once and quickly fell in love. Meanwhile, the cat ran ahead of the royal carriage, stopping by farmers and peasants. He told each group, "When the king passes by and asks whose lands these are, say they belong to the Count of Carabas, or you'll regret it." The terrified workers agreed. When the king asked, everyone replied, "These lands belong to the Count of Carabas." Finally, the cat arrived at the castle of a wicked sorcerer who truly owned all the lands. The cat went inside and flattered the sorcerer, pretending to be impressed by his powers. "They say you can turn into a lion or even an elephant," said the cat, "but I don't believe such a thing." "Oh, really?" sneered the sorcerer. "Watch this." He transformed into a lion, and the cat jumped in fear. Then the cat said, "Very impressive, but I've also heard you can turn into something small, like a mouse." "Of course I can," boasted the sorcerer, and instantly turned into a mouse. The cat pounced, caught the mouse, and ate him in one gulp. Then he ran outside and welcomed the king. "Welcome, your majesty, to the castle of the Count of Carabas." The king was amazed by the wealth of the young man and offered him the princess's hand in marriage. The miller's son accepted. After the king passed away, the young man became king, and the cat became his royal adviser.